Alright guys, it's Eddie. Today what I want to do is measure BTU output so that you can tell whether or not the air conditioner is actually giving its all. Alright. A few things you need to know in order to do that is the CFM, which I went over in another video. We need to know what the wet bulb is. Then there's a formula that we use, and that calculates BTU output. So get your CFM. We're going to measure wet bulb. I use a Testo 605, kind of a Testo fan. Alright, so let me show you how to do it. So basically a couple things we need to know. I need to know what the wet bulb is in the return. I need to know what the wet bulb is in the supply. Alright, so my return, I've got my meter in. Right now my supply temperature, and I'm recording these in my work tickets. I put on my work orders what my dry bulb is, wet bulb, humidity, and what enthalpy is, and we'll go over that in a minute. So right now my return is 77 degree dry bulb. I'm going to write that down. My wet bulb, 59.8. And my humidity, 37%. You don't really need all of that, but I'll still write it on down. Now on your supply, I'm going to reach in to get my drill. You want to take your reading out of line of sight of the coil. You don't want to be, if your meter can see. Now that wasn't good. Let me stop this and put my meter back together. It still works. This thing took a brutal hit to the floor. I guess all I can say is thank God it's a Testo. But anyways, when you're taking this measurement, you want to be out of the line of sight of the coil. So if you stick your meter in, and if it can see the coil, you just don't want it to. Normally you would have, if you're in a basement or whatnot, you would have a trunk line going both ways. You'll want to come off the trunk line branch about 1.5 feet or so and take a measurement there. But on this particular job, ductwork goes straight up to the attic. It's hot up there, I'm not going up there today. So I'm going to drill it up as high as I can, take my reading. Like I said, normally you want to be out of the line of sight. But you know, I'm just wanting to show you how to do this. So I'm not real concerned about how accurate this is. So I'm going to drill the same hole, 3/4 inch with my Makita drill. And I'm going to get it up as high as I can here. Gotta love them Makitas. Milwaukee guys. Alright. I'm gonna stick my meter in here. Now you want these air conditioners to run, you know, at least 10 minutes. You want the system to be able to balance out. But once you let the system run for 10 minutes, I mean, we're no more than another 10 minutes maybe, measuring CFM and measuring BTU output. It don't take that long, guys. 20 minutes tops, 20-25 minutes. While the unit's running for 10 minutes and you're getting your temperatures, use that time to get your amp draws. Go outside and get your amp draws and check your connection. Do all that while the unit's running. You know, that way you're not standing around for 10 minutes. This unit's been running for about 10 minutes now. Not quite 10 minutes, but we're going to get pretty close. Right now my dry bulb is 58 degrees. $56 degrees. Alright, so I got 56 degrees dry bulb. My wet bulb, 50.8. And I'm going to get right down my humidity to 64%. Alright, and that's basically only the two measurements you've got to make is the CFM, get your wet bulbs. Now I'm going to show you how to talk to Wago about enthalpy. We're going to show you how to get that. It's not that hard. I'll just show you. Alright guys, this is a psychrometric chart. Don't let it scare you too much. It's a little easier than it looks to read. Basically, we're not going to use any of this. We're going to focus just on this outside line here and this little area right here. Let me show you how we do this. Alright, you're looking at this line here, this outside line. This is going to be what your wet bulb is. Alright, so we're going to look at our supply. We'll start off with our supply wet bulb, which was 50 degrees. So we want to come up here to 50 degrees. And if you go on 50 degrees, that line that goes down there goes straight out. And this is your enthalpy. So it would be 20.2. Exactly what it is. So you got a little bit of lines there. It's going to be hard to see on the camera, but that's what it is. It's 20.2. Alright, so we want to write 20.2 down for your enthalpy on your supply. Find my marker. I'm going to go ahead and write it down. I'll show you in just a minute. 20.2. Now my return, my wet bulb was 59. So we want to come up here to 59, which is going to be one right before you 60. Line up on that line. And again, you'll come up here and you'll read what number it is on the outside row there. So we're 25.1. I have a hard time reading it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 25.4. So we're going to write that down on our return. 25.4. Alright, I'll show you another. Alright guys, another way you can check it is if you've got an iPhone, you can download an app called HVAC Psychrometrics. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Let me go on the other side here. And basically with this, we're going to input, you got to input two values. So I'll go dry bulb and wet bulb. So I'm going to go to dry bulb. It's going to ask me what the temperature was. We're going to do the 56 degrees was my dry bulb. And hit save. Then we go to my wet bulb. I'm going to measure my supply right now, and it was 50.8. So we'll go 50 point, what the heck did I do? 8. Hit save. If you go right here, it tells you your enthalpy, 20.69. And you want to do that on both of your supply and your returns. Now to figure what the BTU should be at with all these different figures, there's a formula that we use. Let's go over that.